Hello everyone. Today we are going to study about HDL for digital system designing. So in this video we are going to focus on what is HDL language, why it is used, and Verilog HDL language, in which we are going to see design flow, EDA tools, design methodology, Verilog abstraction level, lexical tokens. So we'll see HDL for digital system designing. So earliest digital circuit were designed with vacuum tubes and transistors. So earlier technology was with vacuum tubes and transistors. So it was a very complicated one. Then after that, integrated circuit technology were invented, and where logic gates were placed on a single chip. So here we know that what is logic gates. Logic gates are they are work on a logical operation when two binary inputs are applied, which produce single binary output. So here in integrated circuit means on a single chip placed logic gates instead of vacuum tubes and transistors. So first integrated circuit IC chip were SSI. So here SSI means small scale integration chip, where the gate count was very small. So the first integrated circuit was small scale integration, where they placed logic gates on a single chip, but the count was very small. Then after as the technology becomes sophisticated, then designer were able to place the circuit with hundreds gates on the single chip. And they that chip is called as MSI, that is medium scale integration chip. Afterwards LSI comes to the picture, and that is large scale integration, where designer could put thousands of gate on a single chip. Now to put the thousands gates on a single chip, at that point at this point designing process starts getting very complicated, and designer felt to need of automate this process. So for it is not possible to manually to put that thousand gates on a single chip. So here it needs some automation process, and then ETA, that is electronic design automation technique, begins to evolve, where with this advent of VLSI. Now after this automation comes, then a very large scale integration technology comes, and then here a designer could design a single chip with more than 1 lakh transistors, more than thousands gates and transistors on a single chip. So they are called very large scale integration. Now this all process are done with the automation technology, that is called as electronic design automation, EDA. So here some EDA tools are used to design such technology, very large scale integration technologies. Now what is HDL? Hardware description language. Now we know that for computer programming, to describe computer programming language is used, such as Fortran, Pascal, C. This all are the programming language which describe the computer programming. So in similar manner, to describe digital circuit, hardware description language is used, that is HDL. So HDL is a language which describe the digital circuits. Next, HDA allow the designer to model the concurrency of process found in hardware elements. Now, it is used to design or model the hardware elements which are used in that process. Next, hardware description language such as Verilog HDL and VHDL are most commonly used. Now, there are two hardware description language, VHDL and Verilog HDL language. So we are going to study about Verilog HDL language. Now what are the EDA tools? So EDA design automation. EDA means electronic design automation, and it is also called as electronic computer aided design, that is ECAD. Next, it is a category of software tools for designing electronic system, such as integrated circuit and printed circuit board. So what is EDA? It is a software tools which used to design integrated circuit and printed circuit boards. Next, the tool works together in a design flow that chip designer used to design and analyze entire semiconductor chip. Since a modern semiconductor chip can have billion of components. Now we know that modern semiconductor chip or modern IC circuit, there are billions of components placed on a single. So here EDA tools are essential for their designing, because it is not possible for manually. So here automation technology is needed. So there we used EDA tools for designing this particular semiconductor chips. Now, how the design flow of EDA? So first, it is a high level synthesis, that is behavioral synthesis, that is also called as behavioral synthesis or algorithm synthesis. So the high level design description, that can be C or C++. So this all C and C++ language is converted into RTL register, that is register transfer level. RTL is responsible for representing circuitry via the utilization of interaction between register. Now it is just a description where the interaction between registers are presented. So this is the representation of interaction between register. Therefore, that high level design is converted into RTL, and RTL is responsible to represent that interaction between registers. Next, logical synthesis. So here the translation of RTL design description. Now, what is RTL design description? That is written in Verilog HDL language. Either it can be a Verilog HDL language, or it can be VHDL. So they that RTL design description are converted into a discrete netlist or representation of logic gates. Now they are representing in terms of logic gates, or they convert that data into discrete form, like in either it can be high or low, that is value 1 or 0. So they represent in terms of logic gates. This is called logic synthesis. That high level description converted into RTL, then RTL convert, then after RTL it represent in terms of logic gates. Then schematic capture. What is schematic capture? For standard cell digital analog RF like capture, CIS in ORCAD by Cadence, and ISIS in Proteus. Now what is schematic capture? So here we can design any analog digital circuit, and we can run it. We can see the performance of that digital circuit. Manually we can simulate it. So this is called schematic capture. So if two softwares are used to design that circuit, capture CIS in ORCAD. ORCAD is one by Cadence. ORCAD is one software, and then Proteus is another software. In here, ISIS is used schematic capture purpose. And after that schematic capture, we can find the layout of that particular digital circuit. And this is a actual layout of the designing, our designing. And here again this two softwares is used, ORCAD and Proteus. And for layout purpose, layout in ORCAD, sorry, ARES in Proteus is used for layout purpose. So this is the design flow of EDA. First, that high level is converted into RTL, then RTL is converted into discrete form, and it represents that data in logic gates. Then we have to design the actual system. We have to simulate it by using two softwares, and then we have then that particular layout is designed or formed. Next, typical design flow of Verilog. Now this is the HDL, or we can say HDL or Verilog. So this is the typical design flow of Verilog coding or Verilog designing. So first is design specification. Now in any design, specifications are written first. First we have to write the design specification that describe abstractly the functionality, interface, and overall architecture of digital circuit to be design. Now first we have to know that specification of the digital circuit which we have to design. So how that interface and overall architecture of this. So first block is design specification, in which we have to write the interfacing overall architecture of that digital circuit to be designed. Then at this point the architecture do not need to think about how they will implement this circuit. Now it is not needed that to think about the how it will implement it. Just we have to describe that particular specification. Okay, what specification it needed, just we have to describe that specification. Then afterwards, after describing that specification, next block is behavioral description. Now the behavioral description is then created to analyze the design in terms of functionality, performance, compliances to standard, and other high level issues. Now after that after providing the specification, next is a behavioral description which create or analyze that particular system in terms of what specification you have provided, that functionality, performance, and whatever there will be the high level issues will be sorted into the behavioral description. Then this behavioral description are often written with the HDL. Now this behavioral synthesis are written in the HDL language, that can be Verilog code or that can be VHDL code. Next, the behavioral description is manually converted to an RTL description in an HDL. Now, this behavioral description manually converted into RTL, register transfer level. So, it is converted into RTL, just to describe in terms of logic gates. Then register transfer level abstraction is used in hardware description language like Verilog and VHDL. So in both Verilog and VHDL, this register transfer level abstraction is used to create high level representation of circuit. Means it creates high level representation, or we can say that it represent the values in terms of discrete, and or it can represent that in terms of logic gates, so from which low level representation are, and ultimately actual writing can be derived. The designer has to describe the data flow that will implement the desired digital circuit. Now here we have to write the data flow, how the designing should be there. So how we have to write the data flow that will implement the desired digital circuit. Now for this point onwards, the design process is done with the assistance of EDA tool. Now here for this purpose we need EDA tools for designing process. After RTL, the block is functional verification and testing. So after RTL, when we convert this behavioral description into RTL, so here the functional verification is done, and if it is okay, then it goes to the next block. And if the function verification and testing work gets wrong, then again it goes to the RTL and checks where checks in terms of functionality and specifications. Then the next block is logic synthesis, which convert RTL description to gate level netlist. Now this convert RTL description to gate level netlist. Then gate level netlist is the description of circuit in terms of gates and connection between them. Now what is gate level netlist? Here after logic synthesis, the gate level netlist which provide the connection between gates and then hardware. So it describes the connection between gates and hardware. Next, logic synthesis tool ensure that gate level netlist meets timing, area, and power specification. Now, after this gate level netlist, here uh, they ensure that whatever the specification that meets timing, area, and power specification. So here logical and timing verification and testing is done. If it is okay, then it goes to the next block. If there will be some error in power specification or area or timing, so it again goes to the RTL description. Again it verify the specification, and then again this process functional verification, logic synthesis, then again it converts to gate level net. This all process is done, and then after logic and timing verification, then this the gate level netlist is act as an input for the automatic place and route tools, which creates a layout. Now this particular block is used to create the layout of designing, and which creates the layout, that is a physical layout. And then the layout is verified, then layout is verified, and then fabrication of chip is done, that is implementation. So here layout verification is an, again this layout verification is goes to the automatic tool, which it cross check with this particular block, and then if it is okay, that all the whatever the specification, area, timing, functionality you have provided in this behavioral description or design specification, it goes to it cross checks with this RTL description also, and then again this process is done, and then final implementation of the designing is, so it get fabricated on a chip. Next, most digital design activity is concentrated on manually optimization the RTL description of the circuit. Next, after the RTL description is frozen, now many digital designing is usually they convert RTL description manually, and if the RTL description is frozen, then only EDA tools are available to assist the designer in further process. That is, EDA's automation tools are used if RTL is gets frozen. Then behavioral synthesis tools have begins to emerge recently. These tools can create RTL description from a behavioral or algorithm description of the circuit. Now this behavioral synthesis gets automatically create RTL description. Next, EDA tools will help the designer to convert this behavioral description into the final IC chip. So for converting this behavioral description into final IC chip or implementation, we need EDA tools. Next, Verilog. So Verilog is nothing but a hardware description language. It is a language used for describing a digital system such as network switch, process, and flip-flop or memories. Next, Verilog permits the designer to design the designs in either bottom-up or top-up methodology. Now, there are two types of methodology to design the circuit by using Verilog HDL language. So here, first methodology is bottom-up and second is top-down. So first we'll see bottom-up design. So it is a traditional method of electronic design. Next, each design is performed at the gate level using the standard gates. Now here they used standard gates. Standard gates, we know that logic gates, and gate, or gate, not gate. So this designing performed on the gate level by using the standard gates. Next, this design gives a way to design new structure. And what is top down design? So it allows in early testing, easy change of different technology, and structured system design, and offers many other benefits. So first we'll see top down designing. We define the top level blocks and identify the sub blocks necessary to build the top level blocks. So this is the block diagram of top down design methodology. Here first we define the top level blocks. We have to design whatever the top level blocks are there. Then this top level blocks are further divided into sub blocks, and then this we further subdivide this sub blocks until we come to the leaf cells. Next, these sub blocks are divided into leaf cells, and which this leaf cells cannot be further divided. So here down designing methodology is divided in, first it is a top level block, then again this top level blocks are divided into sub blocks, and then sub blocks are divided into leaf cells. Then this leaf cells cannot be further divided. Next, bottom up design methodology. In bottom up design methodology, we first identify the blocks that are available to us. Then we build bigger cells using this building block. These cells are then used for high level blocks until we build the top level designing. So this is the block diagram of bottom up. So here first we have to identify the blocks, what are the blocks available with us. Then we have to build the first bigger cells by using these blocks. So we have to use these blocks, like we know leaf cells. From this leaf cells we have to design the upper block, that is called as macro cells, and then that from macro cells we have to design or define the top level blocks. So this is called bottom up approach. Next, Verilog abstraction levels. Now, what is Verilog abstraction level? So, Verilog support a design with different level of abstraction. First is behavioral level. Second is register transfer level, and third is gate level. So there are three levels of abstraction. First is behavioral, then register transfer level, and then gate level. Now what is behavioral level? So behavioral level describe a system by concurrent algorithm behavior. So it is a system by algorithm behavior. So every algorithm is sequential, which means it consists of a set of executed instruction one by one. So we have to write a instructions one by one. Then it consists of functions, task, and blocks are the main elements. There is no regards for the structure realization of the design. So here it needs a function, tasks, and blocks. Next, register transfer level. So what is register transfer level? Designs using the register transfer level specify a circuit's characteristic using operation and the transfer of data between the register. So it is the description how the operation is done and how the data is transfers between the register. So this is the register transfer level. The modern definition of RTL code is any code that is synthesizable is called RTL code. So any code which is synthesizable, they are called as RTL code. Next, gate level modeling. So what is gate level? So here the system are described by logical links and their timing properties within the logical level. So here they used logic gates to provide the connections between logic and describe the values in terms of discrete signals out values. So all signals are in terms of discrete signals, and they can be have definite logical values. So gate level modeling is just a logical description. So here they are representing in discrete value, and there are four values, 0 1, that can be lower, higher, x, and z, where x is unknown. So first is logic 0, logic 1, x means unknown value, and z means impedance. Next, the usable operation are predefined logic primitives, that is basic logic. So they used here it used basic logic gates. Then gate level modeling may not be right idea for logical design. Now for complicated designing, there are number of logic gates which are used in a single on a single chip. So it is not a right idea to use gate level modeling, because it gets complicated. Next, gate level code is generated using tools such as synthesis tools, and this netlist is used for gate level simulation at and backend. So this is the disadvantage of gate level type coding or gate level modeling. Next, lexical token. Now, Verilog language source text file stream of lexical token. A lexical token may consist of one or more character, and every single character is in exactly one token. Now what is lexical token? So it can be a keywords, it can be a comments, numbers, white space, or a string, whatever you used in the writing the codes, like keywords, comments, numbers, though they are called as lexical tokens. So they can be consist of one or more character, or every single character is exactly one token. The next, in Verilog, when you write a code in Verilog, so all line should be terminated by a semicolon. Now, whenever you write a program or coding, so every line should be terminated by semicolon. If you forgot to write a semicolon after every line, so there will be an error. So here all lines should be terminated by semicolon. Next, Verilog HDL is a case sensitive language. All keywords are in lowercase. So if you write any keywords in, suppose one keyword is module, okay, capital, if you write capital MODULE, module, so this is the we get an error, because all keywords should be in lowercase, so it should be module, the m should be small, so as MODULE. So we have to write all whatever the keywords we used, so all we have to use in lower case. Next, keywords. Now, keywords are reserved non-escape identifiers that are used to define various language constructs. Now, here, this is the one website where the all keywords are defined. So, there are number of keywords used in Verilog. I'll just show you what are the keywords. So, these all are the keywords which are used for Verilog. Of keywords are there. So, we have to use these keywords. Now, we'll see first. See, assign is a one keyword. So we have, whenever we have to assign any values to a variable, we have to use assign. Number of keywords always, automate, begins, and why they are used, the purpose of this all given in this website. So you just go through for what, how many keywords are there and why this is used. So, and if you want to use the loops, then for loop, if loop. So there are number of keywords: input, output. So just go through this keywords. And then white space. What is white space? The white space can contain the character for tabs, blank, new lines, and form feeds. So white space is used for tabs, blank, and new lines. Next, these characters are ignored except when they serve to separate other token. Next, however, blank and tabs are uh, significant in strings, so they are used in strings. Then comments. There are two types of write the comments. If you want to write a comments in front of the code you have written, so there are two ways. First is, if the single line comment is there, so it start with the slash to slash and then just example, if you want to write a this comment, this is a comment, this is a single line syntax, so this is a comment. So after writing the code, but one line code, so this is a one line comment. So just you have to use two slash. Then for multi line comment, you have to use such type of symbol. So this is the example to write a two line or more than one line comments. So here this is the multi line syntax. So you have to use this type of symbols for you when you use to write a comments. Then numbers, we can specify constant numbers in binary, decimal, hexadecimal, or octal format. So here we can write the numbers in any system like binary, decimal, hexadecimal, or octal form. And we can use a negative number also, but it represent in terms of two's complement. Then the question marks character is Verilog alternative for Z character. Z character is impedance. If we do not know that from 0 it is going from 0 to 1 or 1 to 0, then we have to use the question mark, that is alternative of transfer. And the underscore in character is a legal anywhere in the number we can use it, but it is ignored as a first character. If we used as a first character, so it is ignored, and if we it is legal for the numbers. Then there are different types of number. Integer number. So here Verilog allows integer number to specified as size is 32 bits. Then there can be decimal, hexadecimal, binary. Then radix, hex digital also. Then they are case insensitive. Now these numbers are case insensitive. And then space are allowed between the radix, size, and values. Syntax, how to define the numbers in Verilog. So this is the syntax: size, radix, and value. 4-bit number, 4-bit binary number. This is 0, 1, 0, and 1. I have to define that x is equals to 0, 1, 0, 1. So how to design size? This is the 4-bit number. So 4. Then what is radix? It is a binary number. So 4b, and the value is 0, 1, 0, 1. So here we can write it x is equals to, so x is equals to 4-bit binary number 0, 1, 0, 1. So this is the syntax. Then real number. So Verilog supports real number and variable. Then it converts real number into integers by rounding off. Then real number cannot contain a and x. In real number we cannot use a and x. Then real number may be specified in either decimal or scientific notation. Then value dot value. So we can use 10 dot 1, 1 dot 5 dot 2, like that. Then real numbers are rounded off to the nearest integer when assigned to an integers. Next, signed and unsigned number. So here Verilog supports both numbers, signed and unsigned also. Now we know that in C language we do not have the an int type to say if number is signed integer or unsigned integer. But here in Verilog we can use signed and unsigned numbers. So we have to use negative sign before using the size of for the constant number. So it becomes the sign number when we use minus sign. Then Verilog internally represent negative number in 2's complement format. An optional sign specifier can be added for a signed arithmetic. Then it is illegal to have a minus sign between base format and number. Now we have to put the minus sign before the size. Like we written a 4 bit, so before that 4 bit we have to put minus sign. If we put minus sign between base and format, so it is illegal, it shows some errors. Then what are the identifiers? So identifier is the name used to define the object such as function, module or registers. Now identifiers should begins with alphabets, character or underscore characters. So identifier begins with alphabets, character and underscore characters. So for example, A to Z and A to Z, we can use upper cases also and lower cases also. And it can be consist of numerical characters 0 to 9 and underscore, and then dollar sign is used as a identifier. So this is the identifier. And identifier can be up to 1024 characters long. So hope you have understood what is Verilog code, design flow and methodology, top up, top down, bottom up approach. And then what are the lexical tokens and identifiers in Verilog.